to the L Show, where the L stands for leaning in, especially in those lady part related topics that could be uncomfortable or taboo. But for the month of August, we are talking about something that's fun and easy. So now for September, maybe a whole different ball game, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Now back for where we are today, we are talking about skin and loving the skin that you are in. And thank you for tuning in. This information presented in the show is not intended to replace the advice of your healthcare provider. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman. I'm pharmacist and owner of Rose Pharmacy and Boutique Apothecary, located here in Cornelius, where our focus is on functional medicine. My team and I, we actually make medications based on your provider's prescription that we formulate specifically for you. We also provide holistic alternatives like supplements, vitamins, and much more. You can find out more about us by checking us out on Instagram and Facebook at Rose Pharmacy and Boutique Apothecary, or even on our website at roserxboutique.com. I want to preface my introduction of my guest co-hosts by putting out there that this show is for women like myself who are out in the community going through much of the same issues. And we need a place to not only learn, but a place to commiserate and share our stories. And I think it's important to any chance we get to bring women from the community to sit down with us and talk about what's going on. Okay, so that's what we are doing. Now, I had planned on just having Simone here with me today, but I got a twofer. Her friend, Lisette, am I saying that correctly?
You're saying it
Yep,
correctly.
perfect. Lisette, she is actually visiting from Holland.
Yeah.
So I have myself a little twofer. We're going to have ourselves a little international roundtable discussion.
Yay.
Okay. So I met Simone through her husband, who is my business coach, and she's just such a striking woman. She is a nurse, but has not practiced in the United States. I'm correct about that?
No, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Hasn't practiced in the United States. And she worked with plastic surgeons
Yes.
and what, okay?
Yeah.
She is also a model. So if I could have her stand up, I would, but you guys would lose her in the screen because she's so tall and beautiful. But she's a model. So I want her to tell us a little more about that. But her sailing is her major hobby, and she also loves to work out. So really quickly, before I introduce Lisette, tell us more about this modeling thing.
Well, that just started by accident a couple of years ago here in the U.S. It's a lot of fun. It's really about meeting really nice people and just showing whatever they need me to show, and it could be like commercials or clothing items or just so much. And it involves a lot about the skin.
Yes. And so clearly they chose you for a very good reason. I could see that when you walk through the door. But yeah, okay, that's
Thank
cool.
you.
That's cool. So, thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
I want to apologize, Lisette, because I know I forced you to come to the show. So, So this was last minute, and it was like, oh my gosh, she's coming. She's coming. Oh, can she come on the show as well? And so, thank you for entertaining me by coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
So,
it's an honor.
So Lisette, she works for a nonprofit cultural organization in Holland, where she is a project manager. So some of the things she enjoys doing is cooking and reading, culture, traveling. And you say you go to Greece, is it once a year or?
I try to go to Greece once a year because I just really love that country.
Wow.
My favorite country in Europe.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I've never gone, and actually my host,
my
guest host last week was Greek, and she just talks about how beautiful it is, and I'm like, yeah, I need to go, but it's like I need to. You keep putting it out there, and it just never happens.
Exaggerating.
Wow. So yes, a big welcome to both of my guest co-hosts today. For those of you who missed last week, you can watch and listen to the episodes on WSIC's Facebook page, or you can find the L Show also on Apple Podcasts and YouTube. So last week we focused on the importance of gut health, hormonal balancing, and using food as medicine to have a really positive effect on the skin. And now what we're doing next is we're just going to layer things on a bit. So we're going to talk about the skincare routines. If we don't fix the reason why we did what we did last week as the basis is because we know how important it is to fix what's on the inside to show better skin, right? So that's why we started there, and now we can get to the lathering and slathering of what we put on the skin.
What is fun too.
Yes, exactly. So now I have asked my guests to discuss some of their skincare routines. And then we'll also look at a couple of the products that they like to use. I'm not endorsing any product. I'm just talking about the ingredients in those products. But I do want to get an idea of their skincare routines, and then we'll go from there. So, Simone, are you good to talk about your skincare routine?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, what I told you, it's what I don't think that I do a whole lot. I could do way more, maybe. I really think, well, like last week, the very most important is just taking care of your.
Let me say this really quickly, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. She is 54 years old. So she's 54 years old. Does not look 54 years old, but clearly what she is doing is working. So anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah, the first thing is eating healthy, and that's what I do. I cook from scratch almost every night, and I think that's really important. That's what you discussed last week, and I think that was a very good show last week, talking about all that. Then while working out, to me, it helps my skin too. But I work out in a hot room in Mooresville, and so I sweat a lot almost every day. So that cleans my skin. That's why I think that I don't need to do a lot of cleansing. So what I do at night to get rid of my makeup, and well, especially after that I had a shoot and there's just a lot on my face and I want to get rid of that, I clean my face in the shower just with a face wash and just make sure that my makeup is just all gone. And then after that at night, what I use is ordinary products, and that's just it's maybe a commercial for Ulta, but yeah, use those. But most of it, it's that I use the niacinamide serum and the hyaluronic acid.
Everybody say that very quickly. Hyaluronic acid.
Oh
yes.
my goodness! Yeah, such a tongue breaker.
I know.
That's what I put on my skin at night, and then a moisturizer. And in the morning, I use a vitamin C and A. It's an oil too, and just three drips, and I cover my face in it, and that's what I just feel good by it. It's it gives a little oily feel for my face, and I like it a lot. That's mainly what I do. And then once a year, I have like a dry needling and with radio frequency. And that's just, it tightens the skin. It's just because I don't really want to show that I'm getting older, but while just helping it a little
Everything
bit.
is working. Everything is
Right.
working.
Yeah.
Yes.
We just want a little bit of help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so again, and we were having this conversation before, and she was saying, she's very little alcohol, and I'm listening to her, and I mean, I think we're both listening to her like, oh my gosh, very little alcohol, like what the heck, like I am doomed.
I'm not a party pooper.
Yeah, so, really.
She's a lot of fun, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
she doesn't need it.
Yeah, like I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm like, what little cheats can I do to like, to not have
It's always about the balance, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You have to have some fun in life, but not too much
alcohol.
No.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. Okay. But I think it's something interesting that you did say that, you sweat a lot. And how long are you in these hot rooms?
That's an hour. I think 5 days a week for an hour. Yeah.
Whoa.
So and maybe we don't need it that much, but it's just I used to run my whole life and I couldn't do that anymore, and this is a good.
Wow. Okay. So there's something else that I have to aspire to do. So time for a quick break. When we get back, we'll continue discussing lathering and slathering in our skincare conversation.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Just a few more weeks until Kane Center for the Arts' first performance of the 2024 fall season lineup. Asheville native Kanan Cox will be performing Friday, August 25th. The show starts at 8 p.m. Kane Center for the Arts 2024 fall season. Buy your season tickets now at kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Looking for something fun to do with your kids this summer? Birkdale Buds is hosting their weekly Playtime in the Plaza. Bring your preschool-aged bud for playtime between 10:30 and 12 noon every Wednesday through October. The activities include games, face painting, storytellers, magicians, arts and crafts, plus more. There's no cost and no registration required. Bring a blanket and come join the fun. For more details, visit BirkdaleVillage.com. Ever wonder what Mooresville was like in 1873? The historic Downtown Walking Tour is a self-guided tour that will take you on a stroll through Mooresville's past to learn about the history of the town. Featuring 18 stops, the tour begins and ends at the corner of Main Street and Center Avenue. It should take 1 hour to complete. For more details, visit downtownmooresville.com. Looking for a night out on the town? Cornelius's Second Friday Street Festival series continues, starting at Oak Street Mill at 6 p.m. The Second Friday Street Festival series is ongoing through October. Got an upcoming event you'd like everyone to know about? Yard and estate sales, nonprofit fundraisers, and everything in between? Go to WSICnews.com and click on Events to submit your event today.
I'm Nick Rice with your WSIC forecast. As we head through the rest of the afternoon, we'll see increasing clouds and a high of 86. Tonight, 30% chance of showers after 7, mostly clear, low of 68. On Saturday, we may have some patchy fog before 9. Otherwise, it's going to be a mostly sunny day with a high of 92. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low around 72. I'm Nick Rice from WSIC's Weather Center.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Welcome back to the Elle Show, where we are discussing skincare in our second episode of our Loving the Skin You Are In. So today's title is Lathering and Slathering, and we are going to discuss in our roundtable discussion, our international roundtable discussion. We're going to continue our discussions around our skincare routine. So back to routine. Lisette, what is your skincare routine?
Actually, my skincare routine is even more basic than Simone's. Sometimes I feel I have to do more, but I'm a little lazy that way because I really believe that your skin grows from the inside. So what you talked about last week is very important in this.
And by the way, she's 54. By the way, doesn't look 54.
53.
Okay,
almost 54.
okay, got it.
Younger.
I do of course clean my face after the makeup with. I use Nivea. I hear that it's not a very common product here.
Yeah,
but I like it a lot.
Okay,
it's very. It's easy, and I use a day and night cream from Olay.
Okay,
and of course I use sunscreen when I go outside. But where I come from, the climate is very different, so I don't do it every day. It's just when I go into the sun, then I definitely use the sunscreen.
Okay,
and,
okay.
Yeah, that's about it.
We'll get into sunscreen a bit in the show, just to talk about just the importance of sunscreen, even when the sun isn't out, and we'll talk about that later. So
still need it.
Yeah, we definitely still need it for sure.
Okay.
So
I believe that.
Yeah.
But again, I'm a bit lazy that way. I should use it all the time. Yeah.
But now, Nicole, we want to know what your routine is for your skin.
Okay, that's
Because
right.
I thought you're probably 28 or something, but you're
No,
48.
48.
So
yes.
what's your secrets?
It's not true.
Well, so my routine, it's a full body routine for me. So, I cleanse, I have a cleanser that I make myself so that I use. So I use the cleanser, and then, I always use a moisturizer afterwards. So, and I am a moisturizer. I believe in moisturizing my skin. But, you know, I don't want to spend like 30 minutes talking about my routine because I could. And people who know me know that like my body skincare routine is very, very involved. I do lots of exfoliation. It's multiple step process because I believe in cleansing first with the right thing, a little bit of glycolic acid, and then, then I exfoliate. I have what we call the Michael Jackson glove. It's basically it looks like it's a shiny glove, but it's an exfoliator. So I use that, on my body. But for my skin on my face, you can't do all those things because of course, you don't want to hurt your face. But so yeah, I do, and I make sure any scrubs that I use on my body are very moisturizing. So I'm just a big moisturizer at any opportunity that I get. And then if there is something going on, if there's a problem that I'm having, like, a French fry that I ate, and I have a pimple, which I think I have actually a couple because I did have. So, like I'll use like a spot treatment of some type, some serum or something like that to try to remove, the issue to correct it. But for the most part, like the most complicated routine for me is just the body piece and not necessarily the skin of my face, So yeah. But
More
yeah,
secrets.
yeah, I tell you. But so I'm surprised. People who know me will say, "Oh my gosh, that girl's routine for her body is nuts." So because I just believe in you take care of yourself, you take care of your skin, it's going to take care of you, of course, right?
Yeah.
So yes,
next time I'll come to you and just get what you're using because I guess it's going to make me younger.
Well, listen. I'm trying to be okay. At 54, I want to look that good, please. I want to look that good. So I always like to bring in fun facts. So whatever we're talking about, I like to bring in some fun facts. So, did you all know that at the age of 30, your body stops producing collagen? So that's something that many people don't know.
I didn't know
So
that.
yeah, so your body stops producing collagen. So all the
That's
collagen you're
scary.
going to exactly. So when you think about that, you stop producing the collagen, you start losing it at a rate of about 2% a year, right? But there are things that can speed up that loss, like sun, smoking, pollution, things like that, and in that order. So sun damage has the most effect on the amount of collagen that we lose each year. So that's something that people don't realize. Things like estrogen, which is like the best anti-ager.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
That's what my doctor told me.
have been arrived.
Yes, exactly. Estrogen is the best anti-ager. Retinol is also one that can help to stave off the collagen loss. So if you're using retinol products and things like that, then you can avoid that 2% loss. You can probably bring it down to around 1%, or some of the studies have said around 1%. But it's important for people to understand that that's why if you are having any hormonal imbalances with your estrogen, to get that corrected as well, because anti-aging is also about making sure that your hormones are doing what they're supposed to do. And that's a big benefit of estrogen. So that is a few of my fun facts about, with skin. Also, skin turnover. Our skin turns over about every 28 to 40 days is about, I believe it is. So every 28 to 40 days, you produce a brand new skin cell. It comes from the bottom, and then it comes all the way to the top. And then that's what we see as dead skin. So that's something that people don't realize. But as you're younger, the younger that you are, the quicker your skin turns over.
Yeah.
That's why young folks have this,
So
they're all vibrant and bright, no dullness. They're not chasing to try to, try to figure out what am I going to do to make my skin look better. So those are the things, just some little fun facts I think that everybody should know about a very popular product that we hear about with collagen. So just stay out of that sun. Do what you have to do to protect yourself. Smoking, stop smoking. It ages you. And then pollution, of course. There's not a whole lot we can do about pollution individually, so to speak. But just cleansing your skin often when you're out is a good thing to do. So I want to talk about like just some basic skincare routines, because I think that everybody. So you said yours is super basic, hers is more, more than yours. Mine is crazy, depending upon, but I do think that there are a few steps that I think everyone should really should do in a skincare routine. So cleansing, the importance of cleansing,
I do
right?
believe that.
Yes.
Yeah. If we, and think about like with makeup too, if we're cleansing our skin, and there's lots of like makeups that are waterproof, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes we may need to use like some makeup remover, right? So like they have the different waters, the micellar waters that you can use, or the cleansing oils or whatever that you can, but you need something like that to remove the makeup. Oh my gosh. So I'll tell you a story. So I'm not a huge makeup wearer, but my daughter is into makeup. And so she, made my face up and she put on mascara, and it's waterproof mascara.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm like, okay, yeah, fine. So I washed my face that night. I woke up the next day and it looked as though like it had run all down my face. It was still like there.
Yeah.
So just again, like I'm like, okay.
You don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want that. So using something to really help to get the makeup off, that's the first thing that we do if we're wearing makeup. But regardless, double cleansing, and then using some sort of, cleanser after we do the makeup removal, if your first step isn't just a cleanser, but double cleansing regardless of what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, people need to understand when we think about cleansers. Cleansers are supposed to like remove dirt,
Yes.
right? So,
Right.
but whenever we go to the store and you're buying like a cleanser, typically a cleanser will have something else in it, so it'll be like a salicylic acid wash, and people think that, okay, that's the full cleanser. It is a cleanser, but it's not the salicylic acid that's doing the cleaning. It's the what you'll see, like it's called sodium lauryl sulfate or something like that if you look at ingredients. I'm a nerd, so I'm always looking at ingredients. Yeah, it's like a soap, so a surfactant. You need that to remove the dirt, and then the active ingredients in there, like a salicylic acid, right, could be the thing that's really like, unclogging your pores and things like that. So whenever I say cleanser, I try to make sure that people know when I say cleanser, I mean a cleanser. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm not talking about adding in salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide, anything like that. It's just a simple cleanser. And it's important that people understand what sort of cleansers to use. I like the one that you so she uses, and this is totally not endorsing products, but still like yours, Clean and Clear.
Yeah.
Just a basic cleanser.
It's very basic.
There was nothing major in it. No. It was surfactants and whatnot, and it was for normal to sensitive skin. Yeah. There are other cleansers that we can use that have like, things for like dry skin that you may need a little more oil. And there are things that you can use for that, like coconut oil-based cleansers, that are good. But I saw that, and I'm like, okay, this is very, very like simple.
It's very simple. But I just like to, because I'm just using it to get rid of the dirt and the makeup, and then after it, I have my moisturizer and my other things to put on there. So
right, exactly. And although we're talking about a routine, less sometimes is more. We don't have to super complicate it. But we want to just make sure that if we put all this time into getting ourselves together on the inside, why not put some time into getting ourselves on the outside, right?
Yeah.
So when we come back from break, though, we will get into our next topic, which are serums and the differences between serums and moisturizers. I think that's something that people don't really think about. And some people say, well, do I really need a serum? Do I really need both a serum and a moisturizer, right? So we'll talk about that when we come back. See you guys soon.
Local and North Carolina news now on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC. News Talk Now.
I'm Mike Jackson, WSIC News. Nearly 150 inmates relocated yesterday from the North Mecklenburg County Detention Center after the U.S. Marshal's Office refused to accept a rate increase. The Mecklenburg Sheriff's Office submitted the requested per diem rate increase from $160 to $191 per day to the USMS on February 12th. The current rate has been in place since June of 2020. And WNCN reporting that as wildfires continue to devastate the Hawaiian island of Maui, the American Red Cross North Carolina region is sending a team to assist trained workers already in Hawaii in aiding those who were affected. Those volunteers will work in the shelters housing displaced people and will help in assessing the damage, the news release said. Now with a look at sports, here's WSIC Sports Director Joe Berg.
Later on tonight, Charlotte FC takes on Inter Miami in their quarterfinal matchup in the League's Cup. And this weekend, NASCAR action from Indianapolis as the Cup Series takes on the road course from Indy.
WSIC weather, increasing clouds today, a chance of an afternoon or evening shower or thunderstorm, and a high of 86. More rain possible tonight, partly cloudy, the low 68, then sunny and 92 tomorrow. Mike Jackson, WSIC News.
For 41 years, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store is Johnson's Parts and Supply, located at 1112 Shelton Avenue in Statesville. Open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturdays from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Closed on Sunday. Johnson's Parts, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store.
Wake up, people. You are optimizing every waking hour of your life. From carpooling kids, to work, to friends, and everything in between. You have to get sleep. And a bed that can perform as well as you do. Meet the next generation Sleep Number Smart Bed. It effortlessly adjusts to your shape, position, and movements. Learning how you sleep, so you learn to sleep better. Night after night. Sleep next level. Only from Sleep Number.
It's the biggest sale of the year. Save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed. Plus special financing. Ends Monday. See store for details.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
Increase your peace of mind and keep your family comfortable with propane tank monitoring from G&B Energy and Tank Utility. With this app, you can avoid running out of gas while you're grilling. Receive alerts when your tank is low and monitor your tank while you're away. Get peace of mind with G&B Energy's tank monitoring app today. Visit gbenergy.com or drop by 128 Entercraft Drive, Statesville. G&B Energy.
Here's a WSIC Business Minute with local entrepreneur and host of Local Biz Now, Joe Vagnone.
In the latest issue of Deal Stats, the Deal Value Index, we call that DVI, reveals a significant drop in business valuations. The acronym EBITDA is a common measurement of business sales price. The median multiple decreased from 3.8 times EBITDA in 2022 to 3 times EBITDA in 2023. This implies that the selling price based on EBITDA decreased to one of its lowest level in years. Yuck. EBITDA, widely used for medium and large-sized businesses, stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization.
This has been a WSIC Business Minute with Joe Vagnone. Listen for tips on how to improve your business daily on WSIC News Talk Now.
Folks, you know it's hot outside. Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville and Randy Marion Ford Lincoln. We have got the hot deals to go with the hot temperatures. How about a special lease buyout? Fleet buyout of a 2018, 2019, 2020 Chevrolet Equinoxes and Ford Escape starting at $11,880. That's right, over 30 in stock, $11,880. You pick the color, pick the one you want, drive it home today. Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville right on I-40. Randy Marion Ford Lincoln right on I-77. Come see us today.
At the speed of life, WSIC News Talk Now.
Welcome back to the Elle Show, where we are discussing skincare in our second episode of our Loving the Skin You Are In series. Titles is Lathering and Slathering. So before we went to break, we were just about to jump into serums and moisturizers. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me what's the point of serum?
So,
because I never used it, but
yeah, so serums are generally supposed to have higher concentrations of whatever active ingredient we need to do what we want it to do. So say, for instance, someone says, oh my goodness, I really want to target fine lines and wrinkles. Mm-hmm. So we would look for a serum to do that, because generally you're going to have these higher concentrations of the ingredient that is going to take care of, soften the fine lines and wrinkles. If, we have, dark spots under our eyes or something like that, we would have a serum that was targeting specifically that. So serums are there specifically to have higher concentrations and to deliver whatever the medication is or whatever the substance is, the ingredient is, to your skin. And it also helps you get ready for, your moisturizer. And they're typically super light. They're more runny. They're more, liquidy. Mm-hmm. They don't contain a whole lot of form. But their serums are great. They're very good to just deliver what we want them to deliver. So figure out what you want, and then we figure out a serum that, we can use.
I think I should start using a serum.
Yeah.
But I never know what to pick.
Yeah, so basically what it is. So if there's something you want to target, mm-hmm. then I could sit down with you and tell you, because something you want to target, this is what I would suggest us using, mm-hmm. and we could figure out percentages and things like that. But again, like it's not a super difficult science at all. It's actually very fun and interesting, because I love skincare. Mm-hmm. But definitely serums are where it is. For sure.
That's what I like about what you're doing, that you can just make it like custom made.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
Just talk with Nicole and she will make it.
I can do that for you.
Figure something out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So, one thing too is people will ask, what's the point of a serum if you have, a moisturizer? Well, you do a serum first, and then you put your moisturizer on. Mm-hmm. Serums kind of prepare your skin for the moisturizer as well. So you need to have them both. I believe in having both a serum and a moisturizer. That's just the best thing. The best thing to do.
I tend to believe everything you say because you look so good.
So nice. I love my international roundtable, making me feel good this afternoon. Also, I'll say this too. When you're picking out a serum and a moisturizer, think about, okay, your skin, if it's dry, we figure out, okay, we need to have something that's more oil, more soft, more hydrating. And some people with oily skin may not need all of that, so that's another thing to think about too.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's very logical.
Yeah. Hmm?
It sounds very logical.
Mm-hmm.
And then so it's first a serum, and then you put a moisturizer or a cream or something on top of it.
On top of it, yep.
But is there the difference between a cream and a lotion?
So creams and lotions. Creams are more oil-based. They're more oil-based, so they're thicker, right?
Okay,
they're much thicker. Lotions don't have as much oil, and so they go on easier. They go on without much rubbing in. But if somebody has, oily skin, they still need to be moisturized, but they don't need all of the oil that someone else would need. So that's basically the difference. Is just really consistency in one's oil base. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I always like the cream for night. I think, because it's thicker, it's more oily.
Yes, exactly.
It feels better, I think, at night when you sleep.
It does. You're not moving around. You're not outside.
Yeah.
You're just letting it sit, so it's going to be able to do what it does. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
So, eye creams. I'll just mention eye creams just really briefly. So some people will say
something that we need. Like,
that we really
I often think like, oh well, the whole face regimens. Do we still need an eye cream?
You also need an eye cream on top.
So
it seems like so much.
It seems like right. Yeah. So it really depends, because the serum could be for your entire face, right? But say, for instance, you could use a serum just for underneath your eyes if you wanted to. I tend to do like serums all over the face. And if we're trying to target something that's around your eyes as well, that we still put that ingredient in the serum so you can still use it all over your face, even under your eyes. So it's not like you're having, another additional product.
Yeah.
So yeah, but or if you have your moisturizer, right? I don't think, depending upon what's in the moisturizer, you don't need a eye cream. You can use your moisturizer. Yeah. So sometimes it can get a little, heavy on the product, but there's a way to cut that down if you just kind of think through, okay, is it really necessary for
Well, that's
for
kind
me
of what
to
I
do?
like too. It's, it's doing too much.
Right.
Takes too much time.
Takes too much time. It
you
does.
have time, I have not.
Exactly. But you know what? Something that you mentioned yesterday is water.
Yeah.
Water is a super important piece of the routine, right?
Absolutely.
And I don't get enough of it, but I need to up it. But still, like, it's so important. Hydration in your body is important for how your skin looks.
Absolutely. It's good for your skin, but it's good for everything. Like, we need so much water. And I really think, especially in this area, it's easy to drink too less water. We need it. Like when you're a little thirsty, when you feel like I'm a little thirsty, you're too late already.
Exactly.
It's your skin, it's even your brain. It's just you're drying out. You need to have your water with you.
Absolutely. So one big question that I do get, because we've talked about active ingredients, we've mentioned, you have this to do that or this to do that. One of the things that people often want to know is, okay, what are the products? What are the ingredients in certain things? And so what I did, I know that you use the oil of Olay, your night cream, and you use, the day cream. So one of the things that people hear about, and one of the popular products is retinol. Yeah. Right. So everybody's like retinol, and that's something that's in the night cream. So retinol is a byproduct of your vitamin A, right? So so it is weaker than the prescription synthetic tretinoin. Everybody's heard of that, like Retin-A. Yeah. So it's the weaker. It's over the counter. Retinol is over the counter, and it does soften, like, fine lines.
It's the fine lines.
Yeah. It doesn't work as fast as the prescription, but still but it's still a good product. It has like peptides in there. The night cream has peptides in there, which is great, and peptides are great for anti-aging and for plumping the skin. And then that day cream has another ingredient that I actually love. It's niacinamide. And I believe that you have a niacinamide serum, right? Niacinamide is excellent. It's great. Yeah. It brightens. It's an anti-aging product that, I would say is an absolute necessity in people's regimen.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Yes, it's great. It's a lightener. It improves the skin tone. It does so many things. On top of that, when we think about, like, we mentioned salicylic acid as well. I think I know we had talked about like acne flares. Like, what can you do for acne flares?
Yeah,
Salicylic
I used to
acid.
have them a lot too. I was 45. I still had acne.
Yeah, absolutely. Adult acne is very, very, very common. It is. And so if you have a little flare, salicylic acid is one of these ingredients that are very popular. You can go down the aisle in a store and look at what's in this, what's in that. Salicylic acid is probably one of the most popular ones in a product.
Yeah, it really works.
It really works. But one thing people have to understand is when they are using a skincare product that has these ingredients in it, certain ones that increase your turnover of your skin, like a salicylic acid, sometimes it's called purging. People hear about this, it's called purging. Basically, all the bad stuff is being pushed out at a much higher rate. So what happens is people feel like it's not working because their skin may appear to get worse, but it's not actually getting worse. Your body is just ramping up to show you your beautiful skin afterwards. So that's one thing that I always say when we're talking about. Exactly. Whatever product, skin purging is a possibility. It doesn't happen to everyone, but it does happen. People say, "Oh, it got worse." Well, no, give it a little bit of time. It'll fix itself. And when we come back, we will continue down this topic and see what else we have to say in our international roundtable.
Yeah.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Just a few more weeks until Kane Center for the Arts' first performance of the 2024 fall season lineup. Asheville native Kanan Cox will be performing Friday, August 25th. The show starts at 8 p.m. Kane Center for the Arts 2024 fall season. Buy your season tickets now at kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Looking for something fun to do with your kids this summer? Birkdale Buds is hosting their weekly playtime in the plaza. Bring your preschool-aged bud for playtime between 10:30 and 12 noon every Wednesday through October. The activities include games, face painting, storytellers, magicians, arts and crafts, plus more. There's no cost and no registration required. Bring a blanket and come join the fun. For more details, visit BirkdaleVillage.com. Ever wonder what Mooresville was like in 1873? The historic Downtown Walking Tour is a self-guided tour that will take you on a stroll through Mooresville's past to learn about the history of the town. Featuring 18 stops, the tour begins and ends at the corner of Main Street and Center Avenue. It should take 1 hour to complete. For more details, visit downtownmooresville.com. Looking for a night out on the town? Cornelius' second Friday Street Festival series continues, starting at Oak Street Mill at 6 p.m. The second Friday Street Festival series is ongoing through October. Got an upcoming event you'd like everyone to know about? Yard and estate sales, nonprofit fundraisers, and everything in between? Go to WSICnews.com and click on Events to submit your event today.
I'm Nick Rice with your WSIC forecast. As we head through the rest of the afternoon, we'll see increasing clouds and a high of 86. Tonight, 30% chance of showers after 7, mostly clear, low of 68. On Saturday, we may have some patchy fog before 9. Otherwise, it's going to be a mostly sunny day with a high of 92. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low around 72. I'm Nick Rice from WSIC's Weather Center.
Welcome back to the Elle Show, where we are discussing skincare in our second episode of Loving the Skin You Are In. We left off on some of our popular ingredients, and we're going to jump right back into it with just some of the other popular ingredients that you hear, and then we'll move from there. Can you hear the?
Yeah, no,
okay.
yes,
All
no,
right,
now I
perfect.
can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're not, neither, I don't think any of us are technologically savvy, so we're like, okay, can we hear, can we hear, can we hear? But yeah, so some of those ingredients, like I said, that, you know, are super popular, that people use.
Well, yeah. Well, what I've been using is a hyaluronic acid, and it's kind of, it's hard to say it correctly.
Yeah, yes,
crazy, but I think I did pretty well here.
You did, it's good. You did a great job. Hyaluronic acid, yes.
But tell me, why am I using it? Like, I use it because we talk so much about it, and I think, oh, well, let's put it on my face.
Yes, so hyaluronic acid, the reason why it's so popular, the reason why we use it is because it is the ultimate skin plumper and hydrator. Hyaluronic acid is a very interesting thing because it can absorb about 100 times its weight in water. When I'm making any hyaluronic, any of the serums with hyaluronic acid in it, that tongue twister, you know, I have to wait for it to absorb the water. It's an amazing process, yes, but it is the absolute best plumper that there is out there. It's amazing. So that's why we use it on our skin.
Okay.
That's why everybody wants
good
it.
To know.
So, but let's jump into the most important thing. If there's one thing that people take away from our talk today, it's the importance of sunscreen. Ladies, do you wear sunscreen daily?
Yes.
Daily? You said something maybe.
Not daily, and right now I feel sorry that I didn't because I do have some sun damage on my skin. And that just appeared
Yeah.
after my 50s. So
Yeah. Huh.
When you're younger, you don't think about
You don't
that.
think exactly, exactly. That's right. You don't
Think
have
you
as much
stay young
protection.
forever.
You don't have as much protection anymore,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
I think
So
also, well, living in the Netherlands or in Holland, it's just the sun. It's just less sun, and we are so much closer to the sun here,
Yes.
and you really you just feel that like you're
You don't
closer,
feel the
and you have to.
earth so much
We have
in
to
the
protect.
Netherlands.
We have to protect.
yeah,
ours.
every
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
every day, if it's sunny or not, we want to use skin
Yes.
cream. I
Yes.
mean, what's the point of any of our routines if we're not using sunscreen?
Yeah, I worry about it now.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think it's like our skin, like just like it's like a rubber band that you put in the sun out there, and you
Yes.
don't do anything with it. It will just dry out and crack.
Y-
And that's
Absolutely.
what I think. Like, our skin is elastic, but if we don't do anything
If
with
you
it,
do
it will
nothing,
dry out and
it's
crack.
going to dry out and it's going to dry out and crack. And for the people who are watching the show, I'm hoping, Bill, can you put up that picture of the? So this is amazing. If you are not convinced to wear sunscreen, there is an image. It is called, if you can Google it, truck driver sun damage. And you can see on one side of this person's face, this is a truck driver. He drove trucks for years. And that one side of his face is the one that was exposed to the sun. And he looks 40 years older on one side of his face than the other. So if that is not a battle cry for the reason why we want to use sunscreen, I don't know
Going home with sunscreen.
I don't know what else there is. I think a couple things I want to point out, because I know that we're in our last little segment here. Again, I want people to get this part. There are two different types of sunscreens that are out there. There are mineral sunscreen, and then there's the chemical sunscreen, okay? The mineral sunscreens, they are much more safer for the environment, first and foremost. They are the ones that are white. So when I make a sunscreen, like it's white, it's thick, it's occlusive, but that is the one that keeps everything out.
The good stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the good
Is that
stuff.
with the zinc in it?
Yes, absolutely, and it's the zinc that causes the white look of it.
We should make it a fashion item to just have the white lines on your
Yeah,
face.
exactly. Like we're going.
We need to think
yes,
about a good commercial
exactly.
so we all look pretty with all the white.
Yes, with all the white, exactly. So so that is what we see when you see somebody with the white. That's a mineral.
Yeah.
That's a mineral sunscreen.
And you make that?
I do.
Oh, nice.
And that's the best because it keeps away all the...
Yes, it keeps everything out. It keeps everything out. The chemical sunscreens, they're much lighter. Like you can use them and they kind of fade in. There are a number of reasons why people don't use chemical sunscreen. It's just because of the environment, number one. Number two, because it really is, you're still letting in some of the UV rays. And although it's supposed to dissipate, it's still the scare of we're still letting some in. So people just say, I don't want to deal with that. I would much rather have the one that's more occlusive, which is the ones that contain the zinc, your mineral sunscreen. I'll say this too, whenever, even if you're using a mineral sunscreen and they're thick, I know it. Maybe, don't use as much, use a small amount and, to put on the parts that are going to be exposed. You will have to apply multiple times a day. Because it just doesn't last as long in the chemical sunscreen because you have all these preservatives and whatnot, right? But those last longer. But when we're talking about the mineral ones, you may have to apply a couple times a day. But I think to me, it's absolutely worth it because if we saw that picture, if you are driving and you're listening to this, when you get a chance, I would love for you to just see that picture so you can see the difference between someone who, the sides of this person's face and just how amazingly different it is. So the next thing that I just want to jump into as well is because procedures and skincare, you were saying that once a year you have that procedure done.
Yeah, microneedling with the radio frequency.
Right.
Yes.
And so it works so well. It works so well with your skin because you basically are preparing for it all year round. So people don't realize when you're going to have some sort of procedure on your skin, certain procedures, your skin needs to be as homogeneous or as balanced as possible. So it makes it to where your skin can receive and utilize the procedure that you're going to have. So you're preparing all year for it. But typically people aren't doing that, right? So they get a procedure and they haven't really prepared for the procedure.
No, well, it's never too late to start with that.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
so, but everybody who wants to do this one, it's not something like it's without any pain. But you made that cream, the numbing cream for me, and it was awesome. I almost fell asleep there. It was so good.
And that's yes, and that is the goal. So that
come to Nicole to get that numbing cream because she's the best.
Yes. So but I mean, and we are gonna have another show on like procedures specifically, where we'll talk through a lot of the procedures and like what's happening, what it's doing to your skin, because I think people should know there are many different procedures that you can have that are really beneficial to your skin.
What do you think of this microdermabrasion?
So microdermabrasion. So I'm
thinking about that.
Well, I like the fact that it's, basically it's taking off, the dead skin. So they're basically using it looks like a little scalpel kind of thing, and it's oscillating back and forth. But they're using that to scrape the surface of your skin. So, and people will use it for like dark spots or acne spots and whatnot. So it's basically, that's what it's doing. So it's taking off that top layer of your skin.
So a little baby face.
Yes.
But then it's just the dead skin that
it's
removed, right?
Yes, it's removing but it's also removing that superficial layer of your skin as well. So when we do peels are doing that same thing. We're just doing it in a different way through the microdermabrasion.
Is it something you would recommend, or?
Yes, absolutely. If we have tried different things for someone's skin, right? Or you go to your dermatologist or your med spa and they're like, listen, this is something that I think would be good for you. I'm all about it. Absolutely. I just always go back to making sure that your skin is prepared for the procedure. What can you do before the procedure to make sure that you're going to get the benefit from the procedure, right? So somebody has a peel, they're doing a chemical peel for melasma, right? And then they go right back up into the sun. Then what happens? Melasma comes back because that is
what is melasma?
Melasma is where, I'm sorry, I should have said. So melasma is where people have the hyperpigmentation. Their skin has dark places on it, or like where the pigment looks different. That's melasma basically. And so you can treat that. You can do certain things for it, but one of the things that make it worse is sun.
Yeah.
So
always the sun.
It's always the sun.
And wear your hat when you're outside.
Yes, wear your hat, people, when you are outside.
And it looks cute too, so why not?
Yes, absolutely. So, guys, listen, I have enjoyed our roundtable, and thank you to everyone who has tuned in to this week's segment of the Elle Show. And I would say this: I would like to offer the first 10 callers or visitors to my store on Monday, who mentioned that they heard today's show. They will get their choice of either a free 15-gram jar of peptide face cream or even a free fresh batch foaming skin cleanser. Our store address and telephone number are on the website at roserxboutique.com. I, again, am your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman, pharmacist and owner of Rose Boutique Pharmacy. Sorry, Rose Pharmacy and Boutique Apothecary. Like a tongue twister, my name. But if you have missed any part of the show, definitely go back to WSICnews.com, as we will have the previous segments posted. And you can also follow us on WSIC News on Facebook, where you can watch and listen and replay the episodes. Again, we always love your feedback as well, so we encourage any topic ideas or any questions that we would like to be answered. Just call 1-844-STUDIO-4 or 1-844-788-3464. And I would love to just, again, thank both of my guests, my international roundtable.
You're welcome.
Lisette,
I really enjoyed it.
And
thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, guys, for coming. To find out more about my store or myself, you can visit Instagram or Facebook or my website again. I would love to have you visit the store. But again, the first 10 callers or visitors on Monday,
And it's worth it.
Get something free.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
It's so different than
Yep.
all the others.
Yes,
it's
yes.
Beautiful.
Ladies, remember to block off that 3 to 4 time slot every Friday for the Elle Show, because I want this to be our happy hour where we're wrapping up our busy week together on an uplifting note.
The new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, W290.